is what it looks like for you guys and what it looks like for us. It's totally different. Me wanting to be with you, it's just me wanting to be with you.
Period. We're not looking for benefits.
So it doesn't have to be. So y'all, all in be all is not necessarily the certificate marriage thing.
No.
It's like you.
It's you.
Welcome to the King's Experience remix, okay? With Be True, and I have my lovely guest, because we just gonna remix it like that, because this is how we're gonna start off this interview. So my special guest today, I would like you to introduce yourself and your age. Go ahead and start first.
What's happening? March Hill. 37 years old. I ain't gonna age myself. I'm 37. I ain't 38 yet.
You almost did when you turned 38.
August.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got a little bit of time. Save it.
Yep.
We're gonna save it.
Yep, I'm holding on to it.
Okay.
Oh, me? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yes, you, sir. Yes, you kind sir. I wanted to say your name, but okay.
Yeah. I'm young Jeff, I think, today.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're going with. I'm 39.
39.
And a half. I'm doing a half or so.
Well, I thank you guys for allowing me to do this. So I am here. I'm going to just let y'all know I am here on behalf of the women. The delegation got together and we need answers.
Okay. We'll do our best.
I don't even feel like I need to give a disclaimer. I just ask you to keep it real and honest with all of your answers. Look how you looking.
I'm trying to get out of a funk, but we didn't. Let's keep going. Keep going. I got this. Keep going.
Okay, you do. Okay. So, on behalf of the women, we have lots of questions. As we enter our hot girl summer, there's just some answers that we need.
Okay.
So thank you guys so much. It's not even bad. It's not even bad.
Music to start off with. Instead of
what music?
Instead of Drake, we should have stayed with Pac.
We could have. It's not bad. It's not that bad.
I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
It's not that bad. We're going to. I wanted to know your ages, but this is just a real talk. You know, women, we have questions just, I'm sure, as like men would like to, just sit down and pick the brains. Like, women, why y'all act like that? Or,
No, this is cool. I'm cool. I'm intrigued. And I love to help. So
thank you.
We'll see what we can do.
We appreciate you guys in advance. Now, these questions. I don't want to blame me. I just want to blame them, but I kind of want to blame me because I want to know the answers too. So we just it's not no sliding into it. It's like, bam.
Hey man, just rip the Band-Aid off. Right?
Absolutely.
Here's my disclaimer though. This is my belief. This is what I believe in. So you know what I'm saying. I'm not. That's it. This is my shit. This is what I think. So
absolutely. Would you like to place your disclaimer?
They know me. I'm real always.
Period.
Right.
Just like that. Okay, so this is what I've noticed, even with me just asking women what they wanted to know just about men, like manslations. Like, what does this mean? What does that mean?
Oh, shit.
With women, just in general, and I have to, age myself. I am 34 years old, so my following is grown ass women. So we want to know the real shit. Okay, it was not the kiddie questions. It was one of them.
Is it grown ass women or is it women that's pretending to be grown?
What age group?
Hello. I don't even know, because now I gotta question them.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying my friend said, why you asking him these questions? You need to answer the questions too.
Everybody got work to do.
Absolutely.
And just because you're of a certain age don't mean that you've arrived.
Hello.
So
it takes real work. Age is literally nothing but a number.
I mean shit. Go ahead, B. Your show. Let's do it.
Okay, first question first. I'm not even gonna say who asked the questions, but we're just gonna go like this.
All right.
How does your childhood trauma affect your love life today? We there already.
Okay.
Oh, that's nothing.
Yeah, I mean it's not difficult.
Nothing.
I like attention. I feel like when I was a kid, I'm like middle kid. I'm like middle child. Yeah, so the Marsha type of deal. So I like attention, you know, not constant attention, but I like to just be reassured, like, hey, look, man, I know you're here, you know, I appreciate you being here, that type of shit. So
reassurance is beautiful. So I'm the same way. So I feel you.
Right on.
What about you?
I don't know about trauma, but I think the affection that I got as a kid, now I need that from the woman that I'm gonna date or wife or whatever I'm gonna do. That's mine.
So was it just like you've always had the attention, so at this point it has to match what your mother gave you?
More of, I got affection. Since I got the affection, I don't want to not get affection from my person. So it's a part, it's ingrained in me. It's been ingrained in me. I can't go without it. I need that. That is going to be part of my love language. I need that. That's part of it.
I agree, and I think that that's a beautiful thing that you actually grew up with that. I do know just from the last time you being here, you're an only child, so you got all of it. So these women, the women got to come correct to you. They can't even. There is no half stepping. There's no room. How? Because I'm pretty sure. Oh, I forgot to. Is everybody single on the table? What are we?
Yeah, I'm single.
Yeah,
we single.
Everybody single.
Okay, we single. Bet. So how? Because I'm pretty sure you've experienced women who just did not give the level of affection or attention that you're used to. How do you manage that coming from, you know, I get it all the time and you're not giving it? What is that conversation like?
It's the starting conversation. It's, you know, you don't wait until there's a problem to talk about things.
Hello.
So, you know, bringing that up in the beginning is the key. And if, you know, we're not getting met, hey, these needs aren't being met, what are we doing? Hey, also tell me what needs I'm not meeting, but this need has to be met. It has to. I mean, for me. So it's a conversation.
Here's another disclaimer, if I may.
Go ahead, throw it in there.
We've gone through, like, we're going through this journey, so to speak, of like uncovering, you know, our traumas. There's a lot of motherfuckers ain't went through that yet.
Hello.
You know what I'm saying? So you gotta take this with a grain of salt. You ain't gonna get this type of shit from everybody.
It's for the grown. It's where you're thriving to be.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. Everybody wants to be on the other end of a healing journey. Seriously. So I appreciate y'all for being open, especially just like for the men's point of view, and I have to applaud y'all and give flowers when it is due. I love that you guys are that you guys went through your own healing journey as you guys are going through your healing journey and sharing, because it's big. It's really big, and I appreciate that as black men, because it's unique, you know. Absolutely.
It's kind of like breaking generational curses.
Hello.
Yeah.
Breaking general curses, but then also doing it while sharing. So I want to just stay there for a second, since you guys are you know, people follow you guys. How has sharing your journey just impacted your journey?
I mean, for me, it makes it a little bit more meaningful. You know, you don't know who's watching until they tell you who's watching.
Hello.
You know what I mean? So, just being diligent in, even though you might have rough days, like, just know that the sun gonna shine tomorrow.
Hello. How about you, Jay?
He stole my answer. That happens a lot, but I guess the only thing I would say is I try to always put some kind of message out there in either every show or every other show, you know, just to say, hey, if you're going through something, reach out to somebody.
Absolutely.
You know, do something that, you know, maybe someone's not giving you. So we're condoning that. We're pushing.
Absolutely. Okay. So back to kind of, I ain't even gonna say it's relationship, but it's relationship. So we'll just say it's relationship. Okay. So everybody out here single. We out here single. We're approaching our hot girl summer, but really we don't want to be in the streets. I ain't gonna lie. Women, we will look for something serious. We just out here playing, and that's just what we're doing. We're just making it look good. But ultimately, we desire more. Follow me?
Wait, no.
Go
that
ahead.
doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Explain that. Let's explain that.
So what I meant was women when we're outside. So when we say that we're outside, we're going out with our friends. We would much rather be inside with our person, but we just haven't found them yet.
Okay. That sounds a lot better.
That's what it is.
Okay. Sounds a lot better.
Sounds a lot better.
Yeah, that does.
Sorry. We just had to hit that one.
You fine. So that's pretty much what it is. So how important to men? So you guys can give your answer, your perspective, and then just maybe a general, because I'm pretty sure all men think differently. How important is it look-wise? How important is looks when it comes to looking for your person? Now, let me give a little backstory. So women are taught to look past looks because he's a good man, he's a provider, and results. Sometimes we just dating men just because they're that. We're not actually attracted to them, but that's how we're taught. It's like you don't go for looks. You go. I'm serious.
You go first.
We don't go for looks. We're not supposed to go for looks. We're supposed to go for a man who is a provider. Are you guys taught this?
No, but this is. I have questions about that.
Go ahead.
How do you know that they're that before you're attracted to them? Like there's some form of attraction when you meet. There has to be something that's like, oh, I want to give this person my number, because you don't know that they're a provider. You don't know none of that about them. So, enlighten me on how that works.
For women, I can only speak for behalf of women. There's men who are not attractive or not as attractive, so it's not our type. But they're assertive. They're speaking to us. They're trying to talk to us. So yes, we have anybody. I'm pretty sure y'all see it all the time at the club. Like he ain't about to bag that. He's not about to bag that. But that does not stop them from coming to us and approaching us. So
then, okay. To answer your question, I'm not deflecting. To answer your question, no, we're not taught that. Because as a man, at least for myself, I wasn't taught that. What attracts me is going to be. First, it's going to be how you look, you know. Then from there, as I watch you throughout the night, how do you carry yourself? You know what I'm saying? What's your character like? How do you dance? You know what I'm saying? Like how are you drinking? Are you super? I look at all that shit, you know. And then from there, after peeping the scene for a little bit, then I'm a really calculated individual. I'm a very calculated individual.
It's a Leo in you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna watch. Just like a lion, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna watch my prey, and if it's something that's like, if there's a chink in armor, I'm good.
What about you, John?
So I mean, first to answer your question, I don't know if we're taught that. It depends on, like you said, it depends on the man. There could be men that are taught that to look beyond that, and that's why you may see, I guess, a guy that y'all find attractive. Because I don't find men attractive, but y'all find attractive with a woman who's not as attractive. But as far as I'm concerned, in my thought process, it's the first thing you see is the first thing is, you know, are you attracted to this person in some way? And then from there, you go on to find the other kind of, like he's talking about, the attributes that you like or you don't like. And, you know, if you have enough positives, then you're going for it. If there's too many negatives, and she might be the most attractive woman in the world, but she may not have the right attitude for you. So you can't push past that, as maybe y'all can push past him. Like, well, he's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. We don't know how to push back that, or at least I can speak for myself as he just did.
Okay.
I can't push past those things if there are the chinks, and they're chinks that aren't going to be good for me in the long run. I can't push past.
Now I want to say, to simplify this, so physical attraction. So is it that you guys are seeing, you could see a girl, maybe she's a 6 out of 10, but if she does have, this is a physical. This is physical. So let's just make it physical.
Right.
But then she does have great communication. She is showing y'all like, hey, I'm interested in you.
Yeah.
Does that change it for her? So at that point, is a 6 really not that bad because you're into her? or you can. That's what I mean by looking past.
But
the question is, let me go. The question is this: defining the numbers is a hard scale because men's numbers and women's numbers are two different numbers.
Ooh.
So we can't say that because there are a lot of people out there, and I'm not going to speak on the guy who used to have a show on YouTube that used to give numbers out, but he'd have people on there that like, I'm a 10 or I'm 100, and you're like, you're not even close. And he's right, in my opinion. Now go ahead.
I don't use the scale because beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
Absolutely.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
What I mean by is a 6 to you because when I be thinking people are cute, I'll be the only person who be thinking they're cute, okay?
But as long as you like them.
Absolutely.
And that's
like you said.
And I think that's what we're going at.
That's all that
based
matters.
off of my attraction.
Right.
If I'm attracted to you, you look good. Yeah, and like I said, I'm a
take the looks out of it.
take the looks out of it.
She just cool.
She's just cool. Okay.
Can we look past the physical of, okay, she cool as fuck. She ain't that cute, but she ain't ugly.
Now,
That's what I meant.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes,
We can look past it?
I
Jeff said, hell no in Spanish. I
haven't said nothing. He's talking.
because in order for me to get to that point, I have to be somewhat attracted to her.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna. I ain't gonna wake up to no ugly bitch every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, ooh, but you got a great personality, baby. You know what I mean? No, that's not gonna happen. She's gonna be attractive to me to look beyond that. She might not be a 10, but she's a 10 to me.
Get that.
You know what I mean? And the personality, yes, it can and will magnify that because to Jeff she might be a 6, but because I know the personality, I know how she is with kids and stuff like that. That 6 then went to a 9 now for me because I know the intricacies of her. So yes, you can do that. Just depends on how the game is played. You know what I'm saying? How you navigate that road.
Good point. Very good point.
So I'm gonna let you ladies know what we taught is not how men operate. Okay, attraction matters, at least to them.
Yeah.
I gotta look at you. I gotta be able to look at you, baby.
But what I'm saying is we're supposed to look past, he ain't that cute, but he's a great provider. He's a good man, Savannah.
But wait a second. But
Mom, I want to think he's cute.
Is there two things there? I think you can unpack this several different ways.
Absolutely.
One of which is this, is just because we find them attractive doesn't mean that that's the long run. Just because we don't find them attractive doesn't mean that some men won't still sleep with that lady.
Oh, no. I meant that when I said the question, I meant for your partner. So somebody who you could see yourself long term with, like your wife.
Even what you just said, though, is that he's not that attractive. But he's attractive. You find yourself attractive to him.
We could be attracted to, see, and that's where I think women and men are very different. You guys, because you guys are providers, you guys go into it like, I don't really need that much from her so far as a lot of things. Versus women, we're just like, he's not cute at all, but he is a great provider. He is a hard worker. He's going to be an amazing husband.
But that's that could be any guy, though.
Right.
You know, most guys who are raised correctly are going to be that.
But the point is that she's making the point. The point is they're not checking that out at all. They're pushing past that, and they're only seeing
pushing past looks.
They're only seeing that. So that makes sense how you explain it, because I've heard this, but I never knew where it was coming from.
Yes.
So you're saying this. You'll be with a guy, and that's why you guys give the attributes of all those instead of, you don't start with he's attractive.
We don't start with the 6 foot, exactly. Because what we want is the 6 foot whatever. You know how they say tall, dark, and handsome. That's where that came from. But then in reality, that's not even how we pick husbands, because we look past all of that. That's why if you notice, like women, when you ask them their type, and then they be like, but you ain't dated not near one of your type.
Literally.
Not near one. Where is your type at, man?
Yeah.
So that's why I was just curious, and a lot of women are curious, is because that's how we date, especially when it comes to husbands. Looks and shit goes out of the window for security and for that. So for men, we just wanted to know, is that how y'all coming to? Are y'all saying she's a great woman? So of course I'm gonna wife. My type is she's light skin, long hair, or fucking Dominican. but I'm gonna settle for this so far as looks because she has a great personality. She's gonna do right by my kids. She's gonna be a great mother, stuff like that.
Where I'm at in my life right now, yeah, that's where I'm at. Okay. I'm as long as she look good to me, cool. I remember when I was younger, she had to be. It wasn't a type. It was just she just had to be bad. You know what I'm saying?
Period. Whatever that looks like.
Whatever.
Absolutely.
Well, if I showed a picture to any of my partners, like, oh damn, she bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Just, like, she had to have the cosign.
Yeah.
But now she's got to look good to me, and
she got to be right for you.
Everything else has to fall in line as far as the, are you my partner? You know what I'm saying? You're going to push me to want to provide for you. Because that's what it is right now is a man will provide, but he'll go to the ends of the earth if you know that he got somebody that he knows, like, I want to provide for her. You know what I'm saying? I want to be a better person for her. And I think a lot of guys haven't gotten to that level yet, to be quite frank.
And I'm glad you speak of just like of where you are now. That kind of leads into my next question. At what age do you feel like a man fully matures when it just comes to life stuff, relationships, just in general? And Jeff, I want to start with you. When
he has a kid. So you have real responsibilities now. You have to really put feet to the and not everybody, because we know some people don't take to that. But I do think you see a maturity kick into their whole being. Either that, or maybe we're on a traumatizing experiences could throw that out, or even getting older or going through some trials and tribulations. It all clicks one day, and now they're okay. I'm ready to step up. And that could be whatever age. It just
there's no set age on that. It depends on everybody's circumstances is different. And so it is going to be more so based off of your life experiences and the traumas that you have to deal with and when you have to deal with them.
And it comes like he's talking about. So you should be able to read it also. You shouldn't be pushing past that if you can tell that he ain't ready for that.
Hello.
So I'm just saying.
Go ahead and say that again for the woman in the back who was dealing with that woman. Go ahead and say that one more time.
Don't push past the red flags that are red flags just because he's a good, what did you use? He's a provider. He's a whatever the hell, but all the rest of the red flags are there. Man. Don't push through that and ignore that.
Yep. Do not. And this goes for guys too.
Yep.
This goes for guys too, because all this is going to do is end up getting magnified down the line.
Hello.
It's going to be like, and you ain't going to really have a leg to stand on because the response is going to be, well, I've always done that. Yeah, absolutely. No shit, but I hated this shit from the jump. And I was like you.
And you didn't even use your voice in saying that. But I think it all ties down to what we allow is what will continue in anything.
I think it boils down to communication.
Hello.
That's what it boils down to. And being mature enough to not only be able to speak your concerns or your issues, but also to be able to hear what your partner's concerns and issues may be as well, and be willing to either make the change or have that conversation so that there's some form of compromise. Then start going deeper. You gotta know what your fucking boundaries are too. You gotta know what your boundaries are and what your deal breakers are. And it is easy to I'm sorry, man, I'm just rambling.
No, go ahead.
It's easy to just let shit go because it's kind of difficult to find a good person. You know what I mean? But sometimes what is it? The short term pain for the long term gain?
Short term sacrifices for long term gain.
There it is.
# Austin Smith. What would you say?
I'm so lost. I was listening. So wait. What's the question again? I'm sorry. I'm just listening.
Told you gonna be paying attention, bro.
Trying to be active in the conversation, but keep going.
Okay, let me give this one to you. Okay, Jeff. You. This is your ground. This is your flow. You're answering on behalf of all of the men's out there.
Well, I mean, should I change my name?
No, we're already going with you.
All right, too late, Jeff. All right, we're Jeff right now. Right,
are we young Jeff? Or are we Jeff?
I don't know. I got so many names. It's okay. Keep going.
Which one do you want to? Okay. So, why do men pursue women intentionally when they have no real desires to do so? Why do y'all move with intentions when y'all really have no desires to really date them seriously? What's the point?
So I have to dispel that first off, because what does moving with intentions mean?
So, okay, you don't want a relationship. You don't see anything with her seriously. However, you're just like moving in the manner of a relationship, or how women view it as a relationship.
You just pass the time.
Now, wait a second. Okay, so now the point is this. You brought up a good point.
He did it to us, girls.
Yes.
Go ahead, give it to us.
As you were saying,
yeah.
the women believe it's moving in the direction of a relationship. If a man leads with, I don't want a relationship.
No. I said moving with intentions. So
intentions.
Okay, so you're not, okay. So
'Cause he is answering your question.
You're talking to somebody, right? Or you met somebody, she cool as fuck, we like her. You know subconsciously, this is not going to be my wife. I don't see it that way. However, you don't say this. This is not something that you say.
Okay.
Because there are men who would do this regardless if you don't. Why do you feel like men, instead of just saying, hey, I don't see it going that way, why do you still continue to pursue her?
So I just got to make sure I understand. So I got to reiterate what you're trying to say.
Go ahead.
You're saying that when you're saying I'm pursuing her, does that mean I'm
getting to know her? Actively getting to know her.
So actively going on dates, I'm assuming, with her and hanging out with her multiple times.
Yep.
And you're saying,
what is the reason for doing that? And if you don't see anything serious with her, why are we not saying, hey, I just don't see you like that, you cool?
But wait, the thing is this. Have we talked? Like, if we're talking,
we talked a lot.
Turn. If we're talking, no, it's my turn. If we're talking and we're going through the situation, I'm just trying to make sure we flesh the whole thing out, because there are two different sides here. One of which is the way the man sees it. He's just going on dates and hanging out with her, opposed to the intention. If the intention is just a word, then what are we really talking about? Because I can go on dates with the same woman for 4 years. If I go to 4 years, then maybe there is something there. But if we're saying we're going on 4 or 5 dates, what's my intention should have been a conversation in the beginning, or I should have led with something, or a question.
Why are we not releasing these women when we know? Are we just not saying, I can't even speak. For you, I get your point because you just so grown as fuck. But there are men who are out here, just how Mark said.
So let's speak on that.
We're wasting time.
Okay, let's speak on that.
Or just passing time.
Well, the answer to that question is because they have not gone through that stage. They're not at that level yet. So that's the simplest answer of it. Most guys, where me and Jeff are, will have a conversation up front like, hey, I'm not looking for a relationship.
Or
you cool as fuck. We can kick it. We can hang out, but I'm not looking for a relationship. And now that's the ball's in your court on whether or not you want to continue to kick it or not.
Okay, so Jeff, before your grown stage, I guess it's just kind of like a younger man, because I do feel like it is a young man's thing to do, because I know like a grown man gonna tell you like, this ain't what I'm looking for. If you stay, then cool. But why do you feel like men just do that in general? Do you feel like it is a lack of maturity type thing?
I think it's sometimes I think we go through a process of maybe if we continue to date them, we're going to end up liking them. And then we never like them, and then we get to the end and we're like, dang, I never liked her from the jump, so I guess I'm going to cut it off. Or maybe it's I just feel so comfortable because it's easy that this is just easy. Like, I know if I call her at 3, she's going to come through at 3, and she's going to hang around, and it's going to be fun for me. So maybe it is some of that fun ego that you're putting out there that maybe a young man's thinking. I don't know. I know the older men sometimes maybe.
The older men be the old ones be doing it too.
But I also think it can't always put on him just because of this. If you're doing this and you're feeling some kind of way, why are you not asking a question to him as, where are we going? Like, because women I've dated like, where is this going? Where's it going? Like, at a young age, where is it going? And personally, I don't want to waste anyone's time. I'm not wasting mine. So
you don't know what you don't know. Like, you don't know what you don't know. Yeah. So if you've navigated through life with, hey, this is what I do. That's what you know. Until you hit that stage of this ain't something ain't right.
Yeah.
You're going to be on that. You know what I'm saying? And as I would say for women, just to if you're, like Jeff said, if you're feeling a type of way, you're going to be the one that's going to have to make that call. And you're going to, because if you're moving in a direction where you don't feel like they're moving with you, then as difficult as it may be, you're going to be the one to have to make that call. And at that point in time, because niggas only change for 2 reasons.
Ooh, what are the reasons?
Because of a heartbreak, and I forget the other one. But
what's the other one, Jeff?
I don't know. Maybe a funeral. I don't know. If somebody that lost somebody, I don't know.
It's generally because of a heartbreak.
Yeah.
For the most part, when it comes to dealing with women, it's because of a heartbreak.
And he's saying it's split.
So wait, y'all never just get to the point to where it's just like, I just want to be a better human being, and I don't want to fuck over these women.
Of course, yeah. Some do.
Yeah, because they're 67-year-olds right now at this very moment playing fucking mind games with women.
Like,
not everybody's not everybody's going to go down that path.
Yeah,
right.
Not everybody's going to go down that path
of enlightenment.
Yes,
exactly. So with that, you do have to navigate it. Mm-hmm. You know, and with navigating, it means that you're going to have to make tough decisions. He might be a great provider. He might be all of the things that you checked off. But if you have if your deal breaker is this, you have to exert your boundary. That goes both ways.
Yes.
That goes both ways. And unfortunately, because men mature slower than women, the mature person is going to be the one that has to do that.
I don't think that you need to wait for someone to show up. Someone's there, they're not there. Like, true. I'm sorry. Like, listen, we got to get off of this thing where we can make 10,000 mistakes and the person just supposed to stay by us and make 10,000 mistakes.
No, I'm not saying that.
I know you're not, but I'm just saying they may not know that.
I mean, I'm not even saying stop your life.
Yeah, I got you. But they may not know where we're going with this. So what I'm saying is this. If this isn't giving you what you want and you're not getting fed, leave it. Man, woman, child, whatever. Leave it. You're not getting fed. Don't sit around and wait for 10 years later where they may change. People don't always change. And change is upon the person if they would like to change. You're not going to make them change unless they physically want to change.
They want to change. Exactly. Yes, sir.
And what do I always say? Change is what? Change is relative. It's something else I say too, but I forgot.
You can't force nobody to change.
You can't. And I always tell just people in general, if you can't be with that person as is, if you can't see yourself with them long term as is, then do not do it. Because 9 times out of 10, y'all already know how hard it's hard to change yourself. It's hard to put boundaries on yourself. It's hard to change your goddamn diet. Hello? So putting all this pressure on somebody else, if I do not like you to the point to where I will date you and marry you as is, then I just can't do it, because change could never happen. So I tell everybody, unless you like them as is, nobody's going to be perfect. But it ties into what both of you guys said. It's just like dating with your non-negotiables first. Put that shit up in the front. And lead with that. If they have something on your non-negotiable list, we're not working to get past that because it's on your non-negotiables. Right. And once you hit that list, it's for a reason.
It's just a waste of time.
Absolutely.
And all that ends up happening is you just go down this rabbit hole of emotions and feelings, and for what?
You're going to be mad at yourself.
Yeah.
You're absolutely going to be mad at yourself. Okay, so with that, like men, do y'all feel like y'all ever have like a time clock? Y'all know how I'm 34 years old, and my friends are my age, and we just be like, oh, the time is running out. We got to have kids by this age. It's high risk pregnancy in another year. Like, that's how we think. Do men think like that?
I didn't know. I mean, so as far as I'm concerned, I think it depends on if you've already had one or not. If you haven't had a child, then I do see that. I see my time clock ticking, but mine's been ticking since I was 16.
Well, I don't mean by child. You know how it could be, child is just an example, but I mean like, do you guys have that dream of like, oh, I want to be married by 40? Do you guys have your own internal or subconscious time clock for yourself?
I think again that depends on the person. I know for myself, I didn't when I was younger. It was like, if we kicking it, if we doing good, I don't have to be married. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Now I do see myself being a husband. You know what I'm saying? I do see myself. I got kids, so I don't want no more kids. So, but I do see myself being somebody's husband and taking care of whatever that family dynamic look like.
So you just want to be a husband. It could be like, I want to be a husband at 45.
No, I'm not. There's no time frame on that for me. No.
All right. So
what about you, Jeff? Because you don't have kids, and I know you do desire to be married, right?
So my thing is this, yes, but I did have a time clock, and I pushed my time clock, and I got married, and it didn't work, and it was because I went into it and I want to be married.
Right.
So going into situations like that can make you push past all the red flags and seeing what you want to see. The grass is always greener until you get over there and it's fake grass. So
turf like a mug.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, I think some of us do have that time frame, but it depends on, does the man want to be married? Because for us, I don't think it's ingrained in us on men get married, go get married, especially black men, go get married. But I think on the other side of the coin, sometimes y'all are, girl, like you play the games in the beginning. You pull us to play house. We don't necessarily want to play house.
Really?
We'll play it because we like the little girls or whatever, but we don't want to play it. Like, it's like, oh, okay, I'm the dad. What do I have to do? Like, it's a chore. So I just think we're raised differently for different things, and that's kind of where our disconnects are.
This is devastating news because we be like, that's my husband, y'all. We about to just be on trips and do like family shit.
We get married for y'all. We want y'all to be happy.
Marriage is really for y'all.
We want y'all to be happy. We want y'all.
It is 1,000% for y'all.
Let me break it down this way.
My heart.
So, the reception, right? The reception's a party, which is great.
Yeah.
I don't get to walk down the aisle, do I?
Yes.
I do. I get to walk down the aisle.
Yes, you do get to walk down the aisle.
My mother and my grandma's walking me down the aisle in a dress, or not in a dress, in my suit. They're walking me down the aisle, and here comes the bride.
I mean, it ain't as big as the bride, but you absolutely walking down the aisle.
By myself.
Yes, you walk down by yourself.
You can walk down.
Listen, I've been married, and I've been to several weddings, and I know you guys have too out there in the TV land. So it's not about us. That day is not about us.
The day,
it's not.
Right. The wedding.
It's not.
The wedding is
but what
for
about
you
the
guys.
marriage part? Okay, so fuck the wedding, because we can elope.
Okay.
Marriage. We happy? Do we want this man?
With the right person.
My God.
Here's where I stand. I can be someone's husband.
Okay.
In the sense of the law, do I have to be married to be that person? No.
No, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
We want to sign the marriage certificate. We do not want to have a union. Are you showing up?
If I want to be with you, if I want to be with you, I'm there.
So I think now I'm
fucking there.
That's a man's answer.
That's the man's answer.
No, but this is what we want. This is the realness that we want.
There are some men that are like, yes, I want to be married. I want to sign the marriage certificate and all that shit. I just want to be with you.
Right. So whatever that looks like
to a man, I just want being with you. You being by my side is enough.
Yes, that's it.
I will give you a ring if you need I will give you all that shit if that's what you need. But as far as like getting the court, I don't need that. I just want you.
Okay.
And we build it from there.
We don't need the show.
Yeah.
We want when the cameras go off.
I want the person. I want the person in the marriage. I want
in the rawest form.
Absolutely. Oh my God! I really thought that we're all on one accord and we all wanted to do the marriage thing and we want to go down the aisle.
That shit don't matter to us.
Are you serious?
No, I'm kidding. I know y'all didn't, but I wanted to hear a man's answer though.
Yeah, we
but
just
we
want
do.
y'all.
So y'all are. That's why y'all say, or that's why men in general, or I hear, just say like it is a bigger sacrifice for men to get married because one, y'all don't necessarily. It's not that y'all don't want to do, but y'all don't necessarily have to do it in the first place.
Well, look at who pays more at the end on the divorce side.
I mean, there's that. There is the fear.
There's a lot.
There is the fear.
I'm just saying.
I was gonna say because the women getting hit left and right.
And a lot of people are fearful of that.
It's changing now, but for years I think it's been,
But you know what though? Here's what I've learned.
Tough.
If you go into that thinking that,
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like the power of
the mind.
The mind is very strong. So you can't go in thinking along that sense. Yes, it's there. I know most of the people that I know are fucking divorced. So that's something in itself. Like, all right, it stares me in the face.
It's life. It happens.
And it is. But that's where the communication comes in. You know what I mean? That's where knowing what your boundaries are, what your rep, because you end up marrying the wrong person because you ignore a lot of that shit. You know, you ignore the red flags.
Absolutely.
And then you get married, and you're just like, well, fuck.
I say this. I know there's this thing that says, or I've heard this thing like, oh well, if he ain't married you in 7 years, girl, then he ain't, whatever, that whole thing. Right?
Tap into that, go into that, because it's a whole lot of y'all watching who've been in that relationship and y'all trying to question it right now.
I've seen it with family members firsthand. They're married to this day. They got 2 kids. They seem to be as happy as can be in my eyes. Now, I also do think that if you start off with someone, like he said earlier, maybe there is that maturity process where you're waiting for them to catch up to you. Maybe you do. If this is who you really feel your person is, maybe you are doing that. But if you know you're going to marry someone, does it matter the time frame, or is it that, you know what, I got an internal clock and he hasn't made a move, even though he says I'm going to do it. If he says it, most men are about the word, I would assume, I hope y'all are, and they're going to do it, it just isn't high priority.
But again, that goes back to what I was saying, though. You know what I'm saying? Because there's 2 different views, outlooks of what marriage is. A woman's thing is, I want to be in the eye of the law, because a woman wants to be protected, right? And if you're not married in the eyes of the law, then you go through. This is. Tell me if I'm wrong here, okay?
I definitely will.
Women want to be protected. You see the scenarios where you have the guy has the girl and they've been together for this long, and then the guy dies and the girl ends up with nothing, right?
That's different now. So I think when we want to get married, we genuinely just want to feel like they want us. Because I didn't went through a situation where my boyfriend passed away. I got everything. I got the houses and all of that. So you don't necessarily need that. It's just if you handle your business, absolutely how you structure it. So now coming into a marriage, I wouldn't look at that, because I'd be like, we can have all of this and I could be set up I can have your life insurance without ever being your wife. I just have to be a beneficiary. So with women, we just naturally just want to feel wanted. We want to feel like, okay, this man dead ass wants to be with me, because it is a choice. It's literally a choice. You're choosing to be with me for the rest of your life. So that's a different type of reassurance.
I think that's the difference in it is what it looks like for you guys and what it looks like for us. It's totally different. Me wanting to be with you, it's just me wanting to be with you.
Period. We're not looking for the benefit.
So it doesn't have to be. So y'all all in be all is not necessarily the certificate marriage thing. No. It's like you.
It's you.
See, and that's the thing. That's what concerns us, I think, in even going into that marriage. Because if we're thinking that, like you said, if you're going into the wrong mindset of, well, she wants to make sure she's my beneficiary, or she's trying to this, that, and the other, you're already going to put all this doubt in the man's head where he's scared.
Yeah.
And that's why you may have people that stand people up at the altar and like, I don't know if I can do this.
I would feel that way too. Like, oh, you just want my money and all that stuff like that.
Yeah, like for a guy, it's just, I'm here. If your man ain't cheating on you, if your man ain't cheating on you, and he's at home and he wants to spend time with you, he wants to go out on dates with you, he wants to travel with you and shit like that. If he's doing all that stuff and he ain't married you, it ain't because he don't want to marry you. He's just happy with being with you.
Say it again.
So you guys are happy and content.
It's all
happy and content.
In our mind, we're already married.
Because we're already doing it. We wouldn't be in the situation with you if someone's dating you long term. They're not going to date you forever and just be with you forever, just because
they want to be with you forever. Just because
they want to actually be with you forever. Like it's. But
like I'm here because I want to be here. You know what I'm saying?
I think this is like a breaking siren the fucking horns, because I really do feel like we need that though, or if we just need that understanding, because to us marriage is, I think that's what, because what we're taught about this. we dream of our wedding day since we're like fucking 7 years old, and it's just like, oh, I just want a husband, hello. But then we also want our husband to want us too. So we're not understanding like, oh no baby, I want you because I'm here. I've showed you that I'm here. We just like, clearly you just want something else because I've been with you for 7.5 years. There's no ring on my finger. How do we want something else
when we've been with you for 7.5 years?
That's just how we think, but that's the disconnect between men and women, and that's why we're doing this show, because we need to get the men's point of view.
I'm with you because I want to be with you. Period. I ain't cheating on you because I want to be with you.
Right.
Like if I go out and I say, hey, you want to come with me? You know, even though it's supposed to be my night out, because I want to be with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, that's it. I don't need a fucking. I don't need a ring. I don't need a wedding. I don't need a certificate to tell me that I love you.
I like that.
We don't need the government's involvement.
Exactly.
Go. You know what I mean?
Like, we don't need them in our business, babe. Now, women, y'all comment this because I really need to know. So after y'all understood, y'all listen to the men, how do we still feel about this? Do we still want to be married? Does it still matter? Like, yeah, we understand y'all. However, I still need to be married. I still need a ring in 3 years. How are we feeling about it? Y'all comment y'all responses down below.
I got to say one thing.
Go ahead.
You said at 7, and it may be before that you are taught that. What do you think the men are doing at 7? What are they doing?
Well, I don't even say 7 years because
No. 7 years at 7 age, the age of 7. You were saying at 7 you are like, yeah, we're gonna get married.
It's literally it's Disney. We're watching Disney movies. We're watching all of the stuff like that. That's where I think it comes from. I think it's
princesses,
just absolutely the happy ever after always ends with a wedding.
So what are we doing at the same age is my question for you. What do you think the boys are doing? What are the boys doing at the same age?
Y'all outside playing sports. Y'all ain't worried about none of that. Y'all are not worried about us.
We ain't thinking
playing
about
with little figures, whatever.
Absolutely.
We're not even in the same stratosphere.
That makes a lot of sense though. So there's never a time that men are absolutely just taught like, oh, you marry, and
if you have good parents, you can maybe see those from the good parents. You see the parents that are married. You have other people around you maybe that you see have done that, but there's no like, son, when you get to be a certain age,
there's no conversation that's being
had.
And I come from a 2-parent household, and even with that, is like, that's not what you're focusing on. You're just focusing on living life. You know what I mean? When you in the house, when you young, ain't nobody thinking about get married, especially when you're house with boys. No, it's like, man, just you live life. You're focusing on being a man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Growing into a man and having some form of integrity and shit like that.
Yeah.
Then at some point in time, you're like, I can get married.
So my perspective is different because I didn't grow up in a 2-parent house. So seeing that made me want to be married. So that was the difference in the two. Is I always wanted my parents to be together. I always wanted to see, my grandparents were my married couple that I would see. Other people in the neighborhood, I would see, are married or or not, whatever. But I would watch those other relationships and be like, okay, like I see how he treats her or she treats him or they got somebody. That's what I want. Because I don't see it. But no one had to come through and mom like you getting married. So son, you getting married.
So here's my question. Here's my question then. As you guys say that women want a husband, y'all want to be married. If you're with a guy and you've been with him for however long, let's say 5, 7 years, right? Y'all live together, let's say you maybe have a kid, You're at this point, you're not married. You're not legally married. What's the difference
between a marriage and a long term?
Yeah, what's the difference? Like physically, what is different between when with being married and not?
Because we're taught, and we're also told by men that men know if they want to be with you for the rest of their lives within 6 months. This is what men are saying, and the people who we may not name who was giving numbers out still said it. And there's a lot of people who said like, oh man, I knew she was gonna be my wife regardless if I asked her. I didn't know that she was gonna be my wife. So here I am sitting up with you. I done had your baby and we'd been together 2 years, and quote unquote, this is just what it is.
Oops.
But
this is just what it is.
Oops.
But what's the question though? The question is, what's the difference?
The difference is
like what activities are different from me going down the aisle or signing that certificate, what do we do different in the house with having a ring? You can have a ring on. What do you do different inside of the house that you did not do prior to?
I think that goes for it depends on the woman though, because some women say, I'm not going to give wifey duties in a girlfriend experience, and that could be anything from I'm not even going to be cooking for this man every single day versus me cooking a home cooked meal. That really just depends on the person. I do get what you're saying. Like, what is the difference if we already in the house, we're already moving as a unit?
You're being provided for. The guy is doing husband duties, right? Like, what is different?
And I'm going to counter that with, if nothing is different, why can't you marry me? Why can't you put a ring on my finger? If nothing's going to be different, then why can't we sign this marriage certificate and put a ring on it? Because if nothing going to be different, we still going to move solid.
Can I jump in
the
here?
difference?
What does the certificate...
Well, there's a lot the certificate means.
Hello.
So one of which is some say it's before God, depending on if you're spiritual or whatnot.
The certificate means that it's before God?
Well...
I mean, we had to.
Let me finish. So what I'm saying is, some people get married in the church. So because they're doing this union in their eyes in a holy place before God, they're putting the sanction on it in that way. I think that's a difference in the guard. Also, you're physically signing this document that says, I agree to be with this person and commit to this person on a long term. I'm not saying that you're not committing to them if you're in the regular situation with them. I'm saying now you've signed a document that said you're always committing, and whatever I have is theirs and whatever they have is mine, is what the document is saying. It's like signing a deed for a house.
Okay, wait.
It's like
I have to counter this, because what you're saying about going to the church, okay, that's a ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You can, if I go to church on Saturday and I have an official that means I'm married.
If you go, wait.
No,
wait,
it doesn't.
Wait.
If I went to church on Saturday with, me and the girl that I'm dating, I've been with for however long, go to a church on Saturday
and have the ceremony
and have the ceremony, that means I'm legally married. That means I'm married now.
Yeah, that's what what are you talking about?
Once you sign it.
Sign what?
The marriage certificate.
The marriage certificate. You mean like
right
in
there.
the actual marriage.
Like in the actual
marriage.
In the actual sense, because being married in this country means that you signed a certificate saying that you are in a union, right?
Yes.
That's what a legal U.S. marriage license says. I can write on a fucking post-it note that I'm going to be committed to you, that I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, that I'm going to leave you all my shit. I am here for you. I am your man.
What's the difference?
That's the fucking question.
Well, you haven't heard me, because what I said was you're now signing a legal document through the government.
So the only difference is that the government's not involved in our shit.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier.
Do you feel like
women, the government?
Okay, so do you feel like women we just take it differently because the government is in it? Like, oh, okay, this is official now.
Yes, exactly.
Because if he signed a sticky note, like you said,
sticky note be like, cute. The sticky note cute.
You're gonna be like,
but you know what though?
It still holds up in court.
Binding.
Exactly.
It's still binding.
It's not binding.
It is my signature on a document. We have signed that document, and if we go get it notarized, we go get the shit notarized.
You
have to get it notarized.
You know what I'm saying? And so what? There is no difference. There is no difference.
There is a difference.
No, we just said that there wasn't.
Look, if you took that notary signed sticky note that says, I'm going to give her half or whatever else. Okay, that's going to hold up in divorce court, is what you're saying?
Yes, there's a legal document.
It will still hold up, but
it won't hold up in the same jargon. And let me tell you this. Let me go further because I'm the only one that's done this. It seems like in this room. So let me just speak from experience. When you go in and sign a divorce decree, it makes you list out what you're going to give the other person. Outside of what you signed on that day that you're in the church and signed the actual official document. So whatever you said in the beginning is great.
Right, it
sounds good.
But what I'm saying is getting married is for women is the legal aspect of it. It's legal. It's I need to sign this marriage certificate.
Ceremony.
It's this right. It's all of that shit.
It's all that.
And I'm giving the guy's perspective.
Okay.
For a guy, We don't need that shit. We don't want the government in our shit.
No.
So they're in by signing that, nothing's going to change, because obviously if we already got a kid, if we're already living together, we're already growing together, there's nothing that's going to fucking change when it's all said and done.
But are you growing together? Or do you think you are?
You should be. If you're in a healthy relationship, then you should be growing together.
Now there are people who think that a marriage will make it a healthy relationship.
Exactly.
Okay,
this is so many.
So it is, because it can go so many different ways.
I'm sorry.
Like for a guy, that
so
legal paper, that certificate don't mean. All it means is that the government's in our shit. What we do on a day in and day out basis, we go to work, we come home, we fuck when we can. You know what I'm saying? We go out to dinner. It don't change shit. It don't. And at the end of the day, if we break up, if we split, if I'm a man of my word, a man of integrity, I'm gonna make sure you're taken care of.
That is true. Some do that, then some get crazy. Mm-hmm. So in conclusion, men, y'all don't care how we do. we be feeling like, you know, women wanted it security. You know, we just be wanting it, but y'all just like, okay, if I'm with you, then I'm with you. It doesn't matter if we have a sticky note, a goddamn court order. If I'm with you, and I'm in that.
Yep.
So
if you're a man of integrity,
if the actions line up with the words,
right? You know.
Okay. So in the room, since everybody's single, are we intentionally dating? Are we just winging life right now? Like what stage are we at right now with our singleness, guys?
I'm on my journey, so I still make sure I got it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't do shit with it. Sorry for y'all that got numbers, and you know what I'm saying, I hit you up. I ain't wasting y'all time, man.
Y'all accept his apology.
Sorry, man.
We thank you. No, we appreciate you for being honest. I'm just out here. What about you, Jeff?
You say you just out here?
You just out here?
No, is that what you said?
I'm saying, are we intentionally dating? I'm asking where are we at in our singleness space.
Yeah, go ahead. No, I'll go after you.
Oh, me? Oh, no. This is not about me. I'm here on behalf of the women.
I'm sorry.
No, this is not about me.
I got lost.
I'm open to it. I'm open to it, but I'm on my journey, though.
I never move without intention. I'm always thinking, I'm always processing. That's just who I am. That's who I'm always going to be. I'm always thinking about the next move. That's just me. But I can't not move with intention. If the intention, or dating for a purpose, if the person doesn't fit, they don't fit. But I still have to try to figure that out. I'm just saying, you're still going to go on, you may go on a few dates before you find.
So,
sticks.
Would you say you're ultimately looking for a relationship?
I would like to be in one again.
Okay.
However, I'm not rushing it, because not rush into relationships. That is the key for disaster. Unless it's like you said, you see them. They see you.
I was gonna say, what is rushing? Because I feel like we go together real bad. If you've been talking to me for I ain't even gonna say a woman's, because we be like I know I don't even want to scare y'all. So I'm
no.
But because we be like, if I see you and I'm chilling with you, we went out on say 5 dates. It's too much.
Have you been to the house? Have you been to the house?
Of course, I've been to your house.
Oh, okay.
Does that change?
If you've done that,
it depends.
There's two sides to it. Okay, there's a side where you just kind of wing, you're just winging it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
It is what it is.
It is. That's not. It's a situation, because y'all came into each other's life at whatever point in time. It fit the way that it fit. You know what I'm saying? And it feels good. So y'all just kind of y'all just go on with the flow.
Like 2020.
You know what I'm saying? Because if it's intentional, somebody will make it intentional.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Somebody's gonna be like, listen, I want to be with you. Let's be together.
We go to fucking together because we've been out.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Exactly.
We go together. Okay, so I want to ask you this, and then we could go to you. But you don't have any kids right now, so this is really for you. How many kids is too many kids when we're intentionally dating?
17.
Especially as a man with no kids.
17. No, I'm just kidding.
You're so extra. For real.
We're about on the 2 list now. I think I would have done 3 years ago, but 2 is almost pushing it, because
my God in heaven.
Because you're really the focus, in my opinion, should be on the kids. Like, kids shouldn't have to fall by the waistline or not get the things, because kids need to mature and go through the process. And I don't want to take away from nobody's kids or nothing else, but I also need my attention.
Yeah, man.
So I think for
what if
me,
we got older kids? They're teenagers. They're doing their own thing. They barely like us.
They barely like you, but then you come into the situation. You will be a stepdad. You will be,
yes,
you
absolutely.
will be involved immediately in basketball practice now. I'm just throwing that out there.
You're absolutely dropping them off. I agree.
Like, you're like out the gate. So you still have to be prepared on a level of, am I ready to jump into that role? And if you cannot, and if 2 pickups on different side of town are too hard for you, I'm kind of cool on that. I mean, I love kids, love them to death.
Listen, you don't have to do the disclaimer, because we as women, and then also as y'all viewers, I think we understand. At the end of the day, it comes down to perspective and where you are in life, and you have no kids. So going from no kids to 1 kid is an adjustment. So 1 kid to however many kids is a lot. So I do appreciate. Yeah, ladies, did y'all see he was very extremely mindful of y'all with 3 kids? Anyway, but.
I was mindful, but we ain't
He was
doing
mindful,
that.
but it is what it is.
And 2, I'm sorry. Listen, I've done the 1, and 1's a lot, and 2 is really pushing it, and I'm sticking to that. So I'm gonna go with 1.
Okay,
what? No.
Nothing wrong with that. What about what? Because you got
hopefully none. Hold on. Hopefully none.
Hello,
just saying.
Hello, women with no kids. How y'all doing?
Right.
There's one of you. How do we feel about intentionally dating? You do have 2 kids.
I have 2 kids. Yes.
Say the ages. Are we sharing ages?
13 and 2.
Hello.
I got a question.
Hello,
I want to ask before that question, or after that one.
What?
I got a question for him after this one.
Oh.
At 13 and 2. Are their ages. So for me, would I intentionally date a woman with kids? Yes, I would. Because
no, how many kids?
Or how many?
Too many kids. When coming to date me intentionally, I got 3 kids. How are we pulling up? Are we even pulling up at all?
I would say I got to be able to date myself, so I 2
okay,
for sure.
2.
Maybe 3. I guess it depends on I would say max 3.
Max 3.
Depends on the age, because like Jeff said, you know, I like my attention too, and I understand that with any woman with kids, there's a responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have a duty, so you're busy. You know what I mean? So it just depends on. I guess it depends on how the communication goes and how you navigate that. So max 3.
Max 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how y'all feeling? You ain't got no kids. Let's be mindful of everybody's situation. Y'all coming after me. I got 3 kids with 2 baby daddies. Does it matter if there's different baby daddies in the situation? And I just want to give my disclaimer, because I only have 1 child with 1 man. However, there are women who are out here who are dating, and they do feel some type of way. Like, he ain't gonna want to date me because I have 5 kids, and he ain't gonna want to date me because I have more than 1 baby father. How do we feel about it? Does it make a difference of, oh, I have 3 kids and I came from a marriage, or I have 3 kids, 2 baby daddies? Bam.
Want me to go?
Yes.
So it's hard, because the dynamic is this, like you talked about, we both said, I have to be able to spend time with my lady, right? This is now my lady. Well, if there are 2 other gentlemen there, and I mean that, I'm saying that as nice as I can, that's why I call them gentlemen, even though I'm sure someone's going to have an attitude with her dating a new person, or the guy may have an attitude with the baby dad. You never know the people's dynamics. That's already a thing. If it's 1, then okay, then me and him have to sit down, or whatever is going to happen. If it's now 2, now you got to have 2 sits down, and then they could team up against you. You don't like.
Not
there's so many dynamics. I mean, I'm just throwing this out there. I'm just playing the advocate, but nonetheless, I think having 2, it's harder, because now you got to bounce it back between 2 different households. That means these 2 kids are being raised 2 different ways, and they're coming into 1 household, which affects multiple people, and they're bouncing things. So it's kind of hard to in my eyes, catch a bouncing ball.
Do we care? What about, okay, I'm a single mama. Ain't never one of my baby daddies doing shit for these kids.
I wanted to jump in and speak on that.
They ain't there. These are my kids. All 3 of these kids is mine. They daddies don't do a goddamn thing. So how we coming?
That's harder too. Just because you still have the effect of now you're taking on 3 immediately. Because if he's not doing it, I don't feel right. I hope most men feel like this. I don't feel right as a man not stepping up and not being there, not, trying to be the best dad or whoever I can be.
Right.
Not everybody moves like that. Some are like, whatever. As long as I get whatever I need, I'm not tripping. I ain't helping. I'm going to be in this room. And you never see the stepdad. There could be that too. But personally, I can't go into a situation where there's no dad at all and just sit back and not be that.
Right.
So it's then harder because now you are the dad. And you have 0, and then there's this thing. When a kid tells you to your face, and I've had it happen, you not my daddy.
You're not my dad.
You can't tell me what to do. I'm not going to sleep or anything else. A kid kiss you in the head while you're sleeping. There's so many things that can happen in some of these situations. They bite you. You don't know. You can't bite the kid back, can you?
Yes, the fuck you can. Who said that?
You said that. Until I bite the kid and he's bleeding, and then it's a problem. Then I go to jail. I've seen it. It's happened. Whatever. But anyway,
the answer to that question is, to that statement is, you're right. I'm not your dad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I'm not. I know I'm not going into the situation trying to be your. And I'm pretty sure that the mom isn't pulling me in to be dad. You know what I'm saying? They're pulling me in for them.
Shit.
Or some women do pull you in, especially when it comes to having kids. I could just say for me, nobody's just dating me, and I'm gonna say this as I have a 15-year-old. I don't need you to be her dad. I don't need all of that. You're going to be there for me. Exactly. However, it's different if you're dating me and I have an 18-year-old. You can have no relationship with my 18-year-old because my 18-year-old is quote unquote out of the house. Yeah, you're not going to have a relationship with me.
The reason why
just hypothetically in age.
But the reason why I say that is because even if the kids are young.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If the kids are young, I'm dating you because I'm dating you. I'm making your life now. I know that you have kids, right? If you got 3 kids, however many kids it is, I know that you have kids. You're not bringing me in because if you're reading the fucking red flags, gentlemen, you know they're not bringing you in because they want.
I just want you to be that, right?
You know what I'm saying? If you're reading the red flags, you know that they're not bringing you in for they want you. So you know what is coming, what comes with this woman. So you know if you're mature, okay, I know that she has kids. She's not bringing me in to be dad to the kids, but I know as the person I am that if this goes a lot further than whatever, then I'm going to take on the responsibility of doing these things.
Right.
You know, and that's okay. And if there's no dad in the picture for the kids, then really it's a lot easier. Because you ain't got no obstacles to overcome. You ain't got to worry about is she still kicking it with him or what's going on. Are they playing house when she goes to drop him? You ain't got to worry about none of that shit.
Yeah.
So
let's play house like dog pound.
So it does make it easier.
Sometimes baby daddy they be going to Pound Town. Sometimes.
No. I'm just saying. I'm saying dog. Anyway, yes.
So so it can make it easier if the dad isn't involved with the kid. But again, I know that if I'm going into a situation that I like the lady, she got kids, and I know she like me for me, not because of or she's going to be a good dad and she's going to raise my kid. No, I got my own kids to raise. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's a good thing that you said that because I don't have them. I'm looking at it I'm taking the full burden. If you do have them, you're like, oh, it's just another. I'm just adding another kid.
Yeah. Like,
that's a different perspective.
I'm not your dad. You're right. I'm not.
And I'm
gonna go get your mom.
Good.
Yeah, y'all perspective are gonna be very different because to anybody with kids, you already know how we be like, what's one more? Literally, it do be like that because they all tie in. No. But what I mean, like so far. So what? Well, let me say this:
3 more humans.
Not 3 more. Not I ain't say all that. But if you're watching kids, you'll more than likely be like, okay, I don't care if this other child comes over because I already have my own. Versus if I got a free weekend no kids.
No, that's true.
The fuck?
That's
no,
true.
I'm not taking no kids because I ain't got
true.
no kids up over here.
That is true. That is
so
true.
that's what I mean by that. It's going to be different for parents and then with no parents because, one, you're coming from a perspective that you have all of your freedom. I just want me and you, girl. Now it's, you are taking on a family.
Yeah.
Versus somebody with kids is just like, it's not really that much of a difference because I already have to take care of my own kids. Hopefully your kids are good.
And really your kids being here is just going to keep my kids busy, so I ain't got to worry about watching the kids.
Absolutely, there's
you know what I'm saying? So, sure.
Not with that one little bad kid.
No, that's what I said. And I hope your kids are good.
Yeah.
But adding another kid when there's already kids in, it's not a hassle. But
it can be. It has been. I'm gonna say it has.
Yeah, some have but that's when it's a disagreement of the children, they be doing their own thing, and it is situations of like, oh, you're not my dad, bet, homie. I was not trying to be. Right. However,
let me go get your mom.
Exactly. Do you hear me?
I'll let mom put you to sleep. Nigga. Hold on, before you go, B, Jeff, you had a question. I want to make sure we acknowledge your question.
I think you actually covered it. My only thing would have been in a situation if you would have said you have kids, but they can't have kids. I would have been like, how can you do that?
I have to be able to date myself.
Yeah.
I'd like to answer that one on the next episode because I think it's a preference. I do have a child.
We're going to interview you. Don't worry. Next
Absolutely. Time. But I think it's a preference. It goes into just your preference as how you said, like, I prefer somebody with no kids because you don't have kids. It doesn't mean that I won't date you because you have kids. However, my preference is somebody with no kids. There's nothing wrong with that.
So when I've got that, because women have literally asked me that, like, oh yeah, well, you don't have kids, well, I'd rather date you because you don't have any kids. I'm like, yeah, but that sounds good. But
we want what we want, and that's just what we want. And there's nothing. I feel like there's nothing wrong with it. I have a child, and I am very quick to say I will not date men with younger children. I have a 15-year-old. I'm not going to. That my preference of young children is a no. But I do have to ask y'all, and you can just ask from just like a general point of view. Mm-hmm. Why is it a double standard? Where is it acceptable for men to have multiple baby mamas, but then you guys feel some type of way about women having more than one baby daddy?
We're actually going to answer that question on part 2 of this. So stay tuned next week for part 2. And we'll disclose why there's that double standard.